Hi, it's Michelle Eaton here from Local Business Web School, and today we're going to talk about widgets. So widgets are installed on your sidebar. If we look at our site, we can see on the right here we've got the primary sidebar, and if we scroll down we can see we can add some widgets. This theme has been designed to be used with sidebars. This message will no longer be displayed after you add at least one widget to any of the sidebar widget areas using the Appearance Widgets control panel. Now your widget areas depend on the theme you're using, and of course on this site we're using Weaver 2. And if we go to the dashboard and look at Appearance Widgets, on the right hand side here we have lots of areas and options to insert widgets. Not all WordPress themes will have the same flexibility. There are a lot of options in Weaver 2, and that's why I like it. If we come over to a new site, a brand new site, I've added nothing at all. This is just a new install of WordPress, the 2011 theme. You can see that here on the right, archives and some metadata being added to the widget area. So if we look at the dashboard for that, Appearance Widgets, you can see it's very similar. I've got the main sidebar, showcase sidebar, footer, footer and footer. So there are similarities in the widget areas regardless of your theme. Now if we add some widgets to our sidebar, it will overwrite anything that was placed there during the install. As you can see, it's not showing any widgets here in the main sidebar. However, if we look down to inactive widgets, we can see previous widgets that have been added. Now, as these were added by default, there's no settings or anything inside any of these, so we can delete these from the inactive widgets. So we'll go ahead and delete those. In the future, if we add any widgets to our sidebar and have any text or settings or anything in them, and then we remove them, they'll come down here to inactive widgets, which is useful because if we want to add them again later, the settings will all be there with all the information stored in them. So if we place a text widget in there, let's call it text box, and if we say text in the main sidebar area, we save that, click on the little arrow up here to close it. Now we can see we've got one item in our sidebar. So if we come back to that site and refresh, there you can see the title we gave it was text box, and then the content was text in the main sidebar area. So coming back to that dashboard, if you want to see where any of these other areas are, if you place some text in there, you'll be able to see whereabouts that's showing on your site. So if we do the same and place some text in the footer area, again we'll call it text box, and we'll put in text in the footer area 1, and we save that, close that back up, and we come over and refresh the page again. There you can see at the bottom, text in footer area 1. So if you want to see where everything lays out on your particular theme, if you just place some text in, and then you'll be able to see what you can add where. Now if you remember from a previous tutorial, when WordPress installs, the home page is by default set to a blog post, and it gives you a blog post here which is Hello World, and it says welcome to WordPress, this is your first post. Edit or delete it, then start blogging. Now we've deleted it from our site we're setting up in Weaver 2, but just out of interest, if you're not using Weaver 2 and you are still wanting to use a blog post as your home page, if we have a look where we've got the sidebar and what we've added to it, that's actually your blog homepage. But if we move to the sample page, we can see that the sidebar isn't displaying, which is fine if that's how you want it. But if you want the sidebar to be displayed, you're going to have to look at your theme settings. So I just want to quickly do that in case that's confusing you and you're not using the Weaver 2 as I am in the tutorial. So we come back to the dashboard and then go to the page in question, which is the sample page, and we click Edit. And then we come down here to the right and we look at the template for the page. So although we've added a widget to a sidebar, we're using the default template which isn't using a sidebar, so we need to click here and click Sidebar Template. Now this is going to vary. The settings all vary depending on your theme. If we update that and we come back over and we refresh, and as you can see, we can now see the sidebar on the text box that we entered. So there are many other things you can add to your sidebar. So let's add a few things and have a look what they look like. Let's add a calendar. Save. And let's add a list of the pages we have. Title that Site Pages. And let's add recent posts. Close that, and let's add a search box. Let's save that. And let's come back over to our page and refresh. So there's all the bits and pieces that we've added. So coming back over to the dashboard, you can rearrange any of these items simply by clicking and dragging. There are many more widgets we can add. We can add videos, we can add email capture forms, we can add links. So if we add another text box to the top here, we'll call it My Other Pages. And then we can type in a hyperlink. So this is a link that will go to a website of mine. Save that. We come over, refresh the page. There you can see the link there. So that's a clickable link. So if we was to click that, it will take you to one of my pages. Now later on in the tutorials, I'm going to show you how to put a Facebook like box on your site. Now another thing you can add to your site is advertisements. So I want to add this advert here in my sidebar area. All I need to do is copy the HTML code, take another text box at the top here and paste the code in there. We don't need a title for this one. And if we save that, come over and refresh our page, there you can see we've placed the ad in our sidebar there. Now you don't need to worry about any of these. I'm showing you these just so that you can see all of the options that there are. All we're going to do on our site for the moment, we're going to come over, we're going to add a text box, and we're going to title that Visitors on Facebook. And in here will be where we'll be putting our code later on in the tutorials. So we'll save that, and then we'll maybe also put a link to our pages. So we'll just call that navigation and save that. And then if we come over to our site and we refresh that one, we can see that our site has been updated. So that's it for now until we come back and add the Facebook like box. So thank you for watching, and I'll speak to you very soon.